that, some sea smoke that we've actually been able to see kind of in the area. I'm going to replay that one really quickly so that way you all can kind of see what's going on with that one overall. But check that out. That's over at Lake Travis. Just absolutely beautiful image. You can even see some of the drizzle that's actually popped up on the camera itself too. So, just an incredible sight that we don't get to see very much. Really, this pops up when the air above is actually very, very cold, and it mixes with, of course, that warm level that we've seen right over the water. It takes water a lot longer to see that temperature fluctuate, so that's one of the reasons why we kind of see that pop up. Really, really cool image that we're seeing there. All right, let's take a look right now at clouds and radar. I'm going to show you the wider view first with the state of Texas, so you can see who's getting the most activity, where we're seeing it really pop up at. When you get to about Houston, seeing thunderstorms there. You get to our area, you're starting to see some of that wintry mix in there, getting some of that freezing rain as you're going from Midland to Dallas, and then you start to see some of that sleet really build up into snowfall that we're seeing in Midland up to Amarillo and into Oklahoma as well. So just a lot going on that we've seen really starting to come down. Now, some of it isn't very heavy, obviously, but we're starting to see at least some of that sleet really starting to accumulate in many spots. We've been getting some fantastic pictures out there, and we encourage you to continue sending those pictures at kxan.com/report it. All right, let's bring it back home. Let's talk about what's happening in Central Texas right now, so that way you get a clear view of where we're seeing that wintry mix. We had a lot of activity earlier today, especially early in the morning hours. We'd actually seen a decent amount of rainfall overnight into the early morning hours, over half an inch of rainfall in some spots, more in other spots. But here's the thing, all that water that's come down onto the ground, a lot of it did accumulate. We didn't get sunshine at all today, which means that the water didn't get to evaporate. Temperatures continued to drop, so the roads remained very slick in many spots. And now we're dropping below freezing in pretty much every single corner of Central Texas. So that water, it's going to freeze. So take your time. Make sure you guys are safe out there. All right, let's take a look. We do have that ice storm warning that's in effect until 12 o'clock, where we could see over a quarter of an inch of ice possible. And you can see which counties are included in this, which would be Hays County, Travis County, Williamson County. You get Burnett County, Blanco County, Gillespie County, and Llano County. All of those are in this ice storm warning that's in effect until Sunday. And you're going to be able to see what's going on with some of the models and why they're kind of issuing this ice storm warning. Now, if you're not in an ice storm warning, you're under a winter storm warning. That's in effect until noon on Sunday. We could still see up to about a quarter of an inch of ice, but again, you get a pocket of some of that really starting to come down, and that could really build in many spots. So just keep that in mind. Could see up to half an inch in certain spots. I'm going to let this play out. This is one of our models. This is saying that as we get to about 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we really start to see some of it come down, especially after 9 p.m. We get to about midnight to about 1 o'clock. It starts to move a bit east. We get to about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Things start to calm down just a bit, and by 6 a.m., we start to see everything starting to fizzle out. By daybreak, we start to at least see a break in the cloud coverage and remain partly cloudy to mostly cloudy throughout most of Sunday as well. So just a lot going on. A lot of the bulk of it will be overnight, kicking off at around that 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. mark and lasting with us at least until about 3 to 4 a.m. before it seems like we'll see things calm down. Then Sunday, really the main concern at that point is going to be what's left over, because temperatures not going to really get above freezing in many spots. And so that is going to show that, you know, a lot of it won't melt whatsoever. So keep that in mind. All right, so here's a look at your ice accumulation by Sunday early in the morning. You're able to see that breakdown there of what it looks like overall. So just a reminder, I know that a lot of people do have to leave their home. We wouldn't recommend it, especially as we start to see really a lot of that wintry mix, some of that sleet coming down later on this evening. So if you do have to drive for any reason, which again, we don't recommend, but you end up sliding, here's a couple of things to remember. Take your foot off the accelerator, don't slam on the brakes, turn into the skid, avoid overcorrecting, and stay calm. I think that's going to be the biggest thing, is just to make sure that everything is safe and sound as you get out. All right, so let's talk about those temperatures right now. Look at that. If you're around San Marcos, Lockhart, Bastrop, Giddings, you are already within that freezing mark. Flatonia, LaGrange, not below freezing just yet. The last time the sensor came up which may update in just a minute or two actually, was around 33 to 34 degrees. You can see where that really cold air starts to filter through. Temperatures down into the teens already for Mason, still in the 20s as you get into San Saba and Land Passes, but it is still very, very cold outside. Mix in the winds that we've been seeing come in, you get that current wind chill, or that feels like temperature. Man, down into the single digits. That's what it feels like right now in Mason. It feels like it's 8 degrees. It feels like it's 6 degrees in San Saba. And so that just gives you a good idea of how cold it is. Make sure that you're bundled up. If you have to take your pet outside, you know I'm a big believer about making sure your pets are safe. Make sure that your pets are bundled up as well. Put on those little booties on their little feet and make sure that they have their little jackets on. Huskies, I know, are excited about this. I have a husky, and she's ready to get out there, but you still have to minimize that time that they're outside. We want to make sure all animals are safe, especially during this very, very cold period here. So we also do have an extreme cold warning. That's in effect through Monday morning. Temperatures not expected to come up for many as we go on throughout the next 48 hours. An extreme cold warning expected through at least 12 o'clock on Monday, with wind chill down into 5 degrees below zero, up to about 15 degrees. So it just tells you how cold it is. Remember, it only takes a couple minutes for hypothermia to set in, so especially for exposed skin. So make sure you're bundled up. Look at your temperatures for Monday morning. This is your actual temperature, not the feel-like temperature. This will be your actual temperature on Monday morning. Down into the single digits as you get into Mason, Llano, San Saba. It'll be 16 degrees on Monday morning in Austin, 17 degrees in Bastrop, and continuing to the east of I-35. So I know a lot of schools are going to make their plans on what to do on Monday morning, but this gives you a good idea of if your school continues on Monday morning, what to expect. But remember, we're not going to get above freezing in many spots on Monday, or on Sunday, excuse me. So anything that falls from now until Monday will actually probably still be there. So just something to keep in mind. All right, I want to show you the rest of the state really quickly and show you what we're experiencing. Amarillo right now, 5 degrees. Let me repeat that. Amarillo is at 5 degrees right now. Lubbock at 12 degrees. You get to San Angelo, 16 degrees. Look at Brownsville, still sitting at 64 degrees. Now, here's the thing, though. They're closer to the coast, and obviously it's a little bit different for them, but they'll start to feel the effects. It's still going to be chilly for everyone across the state as we go along. All right, your 7-day forecast really quickly. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what to expect. As you can tell, it's still going to remain cold Sunday into Monday into Tuesday. Tuesday, we finally get to about 46 degrees. Wednesday morning is still going to be 27 degrees, and high on Wednesday at 50. But our focus is going to be over the next 48 hours and really what's going to happen there as we go from tonight into tomorrow and into Monday morning. So just make sure you're safe. And just one more show you that radar sweep of what's happening here within the area, so that way you can see what we're watching right now is when that next round will really start to filter through. As you can tell, the only spot that's being picked up by our radar right now is out in Milam County, kind of getting into Williamson County. So I'll zoom out a bit more and you can see where most of the activity is up in Waco, down in San Antonio. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me right now. We'll check back in with you in just a bit. Don't forget, we have our newscast at 6 p.m. on KXAN. We encourage you to tune in there. We have our article on KXAN.com that we encourage you to stop by and visit. And of course, if you want to submit any photos you may have of any activity across your area, just visit KXAN.com/reportit, and you can actually upload your photo and video there. Other than that, stay safe out there, stay warm, keep it on KXAN.